Hi everyone, welcome to our first webinar from Lash Inc Journal. I'm just going to introduce what we do. My name's Louise Prunty. I'm founder of Lash Inc Journal. Our first issue was in January 2014. We've since had 4 issues, with our next issue, issue 5, coming out in January. It's an educational journal, so it has articles from contributors all over the world, focusing on lash extensions and the lash industry. I'm the editorial director of Chrysalis House Publishing, so I publish books, my own books, and also books for other people in the lash extension industry, beauty industry, and also in business. My aim is to make continual professional development for lash artists easily accessible through our Lash Inc journal and books published. I'm also very passionate about helping businesses flourish and generate a decent income for self-employed therapists and employers. Sometimes we can all work very hard and not generate the fruits of our labour, and I aim to make people's passion profitable in their business. So the speakers we have today are Dr. Chrissanthie Cosmetics from Sandhurst Centre, and she'll be speaking on blepharitis. Hilary Brand from My Brand Lashes, and Loretta from Flawless Lashes. So I'll now introduce our first speaker, which is Dr. Chrissanthie Cosmetics. She's from South Africa in Johannesburg, and she's going to speak about blepharitis and where her products can help with that condition.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Chrissanthie Cosmetics. I'm an ophthalmologist and director at Sandhurst Eye Centre in Johannesburg, South Africa. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about blepharitis, and I've entitled my slide, What, When and Who. If we look at the anatomy of the eye as a cross-section, the eyelids are a very important part of the eye, and they're essential not only for cosmesis but for vision. The eyelids protect the eye, they moisten the eye by moving the tear film and producing the tear film, part of the tear film, and they obviously look better than not having eyelids. Many glands are also situated inside the eyelids. The most important one we're going to talk about today is the meibomian gland, which produces secretions which form the lipid layer of the tear film. And when the meibomian glands are infected or engorged or not functioning properly, this forms a certain type of blepharitis called posterior blepharitis. So, as you've gathered so far, blepharitis is an infection of the eyelids and the glands in the eyelids and the eyelash follicles, or a combination of all of them. The different causes of this blepharitis, of this condition, involve bacteria such as Staphylococcus aureus or Staphylococcus epidermidis. It can be part of a dermatological condition such as dandruff, which is otherwise known as seborrheic dermatitis. And the way you can see that is obviously not only because of the dandruff in the scalp, but also behind the ears and in the nasolabial folds between the nose and the lips, and also on the eyebrows and the eyelashes. Other causes of blepharitis are allergies. It's very, very commonly associated with allergies. And lastly, mites. Demodex is a particularly nasty little mite which causes blepharitis, and we're finding it more and more commonly when we look at patients under a microscope. So talking about Staphylococcus blepharitis, which you see here in the top slide, this is an acute infection of the eyelash follicles and the lids, and the crusts are actually quite hard. You can see them around the base of the eyelashes. This also can cause a loss of eyelashes, or it can cause misdirection of eyelashes, which can also lead to scratching of the cornea and irritability of the eye. Very, very often blepharitis is associated with dry eye and allergies and a very red eye. So the patients will complain of sore, scratchy, red, teary eyes. Sometimes they even say that they're very sensitive to light, and sometimes they blink a lot more often than one normally would blink. So those are all signs that someone could be suffering from blepharitis. Again, we speak about seborrheic blepharitis, slightly different from the hard crusts. These are soft scales, and the eyelashes appear waxy and greasy. And as we spoke about, it's associated with dandruff elsewhere on the face and head. And these are usually very, very fair people, very blonde people, and they have super sensitive skin. Now, allergies are very, very common in blepharitis, and it's very similar to allergic conjunctivitis, but can happen with exposure to chemicals like soaps or makeup, and is often associated or overlaps with the condition of blepharitis. Mites, a recent finding in the last decade or so. Ophthalmologists have found more and more people walking around with these dreadful little mites hiding away in their eyelash follicles. 30 to 50% of children and adults, and as the patients get older and older, the incidence is as high as 84%. There was one paper that showed that 100% of people older the age of 70 harbor mites in their eyelash follicles. That's quite a scary incidence, but as I say, that was one paper published by Liu in 2010. And basically, due to poor eyelid hygiene, and the eyes again suffer from the same symptoms as we spoke about earlier: scratchy, itchy, red eyes, blurry vision, especially in the morning, because they actually come out at night and they excrete and procreate on your eyelashes, and then they run back as soon as they see the light, and they hide in the eyelash follicles so you can't see them. And just remember that patients have to be examined under a microscope in order to diagnose this kind of blepharitis, the Demodex mite. Here's something to give you nightmares at night. It's just a picture of a little mite. And who's at risk? Basically, people who don't rub their eyelids commonly on a daily basis, people who have poor lid hygiene are at risk for blepharitis. And sometimes foreign bodies being introduced to the eye, such as contact lenses and eyelash extensions, can put you at risk. Diabetic people are at risk, allergic individuals, and people who are HIV positive. Why is it a problem? Why is blepharitis a problem? Because sometimes patients are asymptomatic, so we don't always see, patients don't always complain of their condition. It's a problem because it often causes irritation, chronic irritation and dryness, and very often people think the condition is only an allergy or it's only dry eye, and meanwhile it's blepharitis causing the allergy and the dry eye. Apart from that, red eyes, the loss of eyelashes, eyelashes turning white, poliosis, trichiasis, which means that the eyelashes turn inwards and scratch the cornea. That's one of the sequelae of blepharitis. And sometimes it can even lead to corneal abrasions, which can become infected, and that can lead to corneal ulceration, which can be devastating. So there's a picture of madarosis, losing eyelashes, poliosis, the white eyelashes, and here we have a picture of a severe result of blepharitis, and that is a corneal ulceration. That's corneal ulceration. You can see along the lids that there's quite a lot of foamy discharge showing that there is blepharitis present. There's also conjunctivitis, the red blood vessels all the way around the eye, and this very, very painful, angry looking eye. Historically, the treatment options for blepharitis have been lid hygiene, hot compressors, and the use of gentle hair shampoos and baby shampoos. Also, tetracycline has been widely used in the treatment of blepharitis. Today, lid hygiene and hot compressors are still the mainstay of therapy for blepharitis, but we have to use the appropriate lid cleanser, and often one with tea tree oil so that we can, or tea tree extracts, so that we can also eradicate mites. If the blepharitis is very severe, a short course of steroid or antibiotic ointment may be provided by your practitioner, by your ophthalmologist, and supportive therapy for dry eye or allergic conjunctivitis like antihistamines and lubricants will also be prescribed. The ideal eyelid cleanser, in my opinion, is a gentle and water-based product which is hypoallergenic and soothing and attempts to eradicate Demodex mites with tea tree. My business partner Christine Deist and I designed the Chrissanthie eyelid cleanser with tea tree, which has been very successful in the eyelash industry for cleaning eyelash extensions. And as you know, there is quite an association between eyelash extensions and blepharitis. It's also very, very useful in mechanically removing eyelid secretions which result from inflammatory conditions such as blepharitis. So in conclusion, blepharitis is extremely common. It's often undiagnosed and underdiagnosed. Individuals have to be examined under magnification, so that means a magnifier or a slit lamp when you're dealing with your eye care practitioner. The eyelids, I think, should be treated before eyelid extensions are applied, and the patient or the person in question should be re-examined or referred to an ophthalmologist for treatment if one thinks blepharitis is present. I think it's very important to clean your eyelids, especially if you've got eyelash extensions. I think it's very important to clean them daily, even whilst the extensions are worn, to prevent blepharitis from occurring. Thank you very much for your attention. Goodbye.
Hi there, my name is Hilary Brand. I am so excited to be a part of this webinar. Thank you Lash Inc for inviting me to share and contribute. So, a little about me. In 2003, I completed my cosmetology program. But during my cosmetology program in 2001, I was introduced to eyelash extensions. I dabbled for a while in it, but it wasn't my main gig yet. 2008, I became a master esthetician. 2009, I received my aesthetics instructor's license. And in 2009, I also opened my own business, My Brand Lashes. Hilary Brand, My Brand Lashes. It was my mom's idea. From there, I've owned my own salon. I now live in Las Vegas, and I've recently merged my company with Lash Affair by J. Paris, and I am honored to be their lead educator. I also train and teach others how to do eyelash extensions all over the world. And I take them from being not only a lash technician, but a lash artist. Never in my life would I have guessed that lash extensions would afford me the experiences that I've been able to have, because my original goal in starting eyelash extensions was to make ends meet. My hubby was in college, my first son was just born, and we were poor college kids. So I remember wanting to purchase another lash kit, and we couldn't afford it. It was $250. We really couldn't afford it. And I remember approaching a couple of friends and asking them if they would help me invest in my kit. And in return, I would offer them a slammin' deal for the rest of their lives on eyelash extensions if they would, one, of course, let me continue to perfect my craft, and also to refer me to friends and family. And that built my business very quickly. So if you are new to the lash world, I do recommend a method like that because word of mouth is your best advertisement. I would like to offer you a couple of tips that I wish I would have known when I was a new lash artist. This is applicable to both veterans and fresh lash artists. And the topic is dun, 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 gel pads. Before you roll your eyes, I know, hold on just a second. We haven't been taught how to apply them properly, and most of us have put up our white flags saying, forget about it, I'm not doing gel pads, we'll do tape, and that'll be it. Some people will, tape. Ouch. So here's my thing against tape, and it's cool, whatever you decide to choose, but here's why I don't like it. I feel, one, that it's very rare when tape is placed in the correct position, and two, it's so sticky. It pulls the skin off. It kind of hurts. And so unfortunately, the client, they open their eyes to these beautiful lashes, but then get their moment ripped away with the tape off of their face. The third and final reason why I don't like tape, especially paper tape, is that it includes cotton in its ingredients. And we know that cyanoacrylate is the main ingredient in most of our eyelash adhesives. So on Wikipedia, if you type in cyanoacrylate and then down here, click reaction with cotton. And then I'm just going to make this in the middle here. Here we go. This is what I'm reading right now. Applying cyanoacrylate to some natural materials such as cotton, leather, or wool, cotton swabs, cotton balls, and certain yarns or fabrics results in a powerful, rapid exothermic reaction. The heat released may cause serious burns, ignite the cotton product, or release irritating white smoke. Material safety data sheets for cyanoacrylate instruct users not to wear cotton or wool clothing, especially cotton gloves, when applying or handling cyanoacrylates. Have you ever had that client, when you're finished with your lash set and remove the tape, they look up and there is a definite stripe of red on their sclera or their eyeball? That is from the thermal reaction that is happening on the paper tape if you blot your adhesive on the paper tape. Our adhesive is already very fumy, and the eye should definitely not be open. However, if it is open for any little tiny bit of space, the sclera will be burned. It is a chemical burn. And so I refuse to put this on top of gel pads, and especially do not blot your adhesive on your paper tape. So to conclude, to me it is not worth compromising the safety or the comfort of my client. We did a little experiment to demonstrate this principle using a cotton swab and a few drops of lash adhesive. So we took a cotton swab and I dropped a couple of drops of your regular lash adhesive on the cotton swab, and after seconds you see a white smoke coming off of the cotton swab. This is the thermal reaction happening between the cotton and the cyanoacrylate. Very unpleasant. You can also see what it's doing to the foil underneath the cotton swab. We also did this experiment on cotton paper tape, and while we did not see smoke, we did lift it off the tinfoil that we did the experiment on, and this was the discoloration and the heat that had created this spot on the tinfoil. And so while you might not see smoke on your paper tape while you're using it on your clients, there is still heat being created because of the combination of cyanoacrylate and cotton in the paper tape. So, gel pads. Yes, if applied incorrectly, they will swell. Yes, they will lift. And yes, they can also go and scratch the eye if they're placed incorrectly. So, it is all about technique. And in this little video, I will show you how to apply gel pads with the client's eyes closed. Here I'm applying the gel pad to the left eye of my client. So middle and ring finger are the fingers I use to hold the gel pad. And then on my right hand, I use my middle and ring finger to lift the eyelid. Starting on the inside corner of the lower lid and using my ring finger to hold the gel pad in place, walk the gel pad along the lower lash line, and it must be at least a millimeter away from the waterline in order to keep the gel pad from swelling. It's important to note that if you are applying my gel pads, you need to use your right hand to apply the right eye gel pad, and for your left eye, you need to use your left hand to apply the left eye gel pad. If you try to cross your right hand over the bridge of the nose and try to apply the gel pad with your right hand, almost every time it will be placed incorrectly and you will have a very frustrating application. So use your right hand, right eye, left hand, left eye. Now, this method is not foolproof. You still have to have your clients in a relaxed state. So I don't recommend maybe talking about politics, religion, their last boyfriend or girlfriend. Let's just leave the drama out of it. You do want them to be resting, peaceful, absorbing the moment that they're really rarely getting anymore these days. This is one of my favorite techniques. Flip the gel pad on its side, going up the bridge of the nose, and you can work off the curve of the gel pad, and it allows you to access those pesky inner lashes that are almost impossible to get because you either have tape or a gel pad. There. All right, my next tip and trick is for volume or classic, but I love this trick for this reason. If you're a volume lasher, holding your fan on top of a natural lash, if you press too hard, that fan at the base will just go like this, and then a few swear words are said, and then you make another one, and 25 minutes later, after dropping a few, okay, not 25 minutes, but if you're a new volume lasher, it feels like it. So instead of placing the volume lash on top of the natural lash, try scooping it up underneath the base of the natural lash. Now, two things that make this awesome. One, if you've got the fan and it's in your tweezers and you dip the fan and then swipe the fan out of the bead so the adhesive is then resting on the top of the fan like a spoon, and then you place that volume lash up underneath that natural lash, there's adhesive that is now encasing the entire area of the separation between the natural lash and the volume lash. So your adhesion is much more solid and you don't have any lifting at the bases. Now, when you place the volume lash underneath the natural lash, you do have a sort of pressing up motion to be able to, of course, melt that adhesive into the natural lash. You do have to help it a little bit. It's the opposite of if you were placing the lash on top and pressing down to make the adhesive stick to the natural lash. I've also noticed that when I am doing volume lashes and I do place the volume lash underneath the natural lash, because I'm building my lashes and I'm brushing the lashes from the top, not only is it less likely that I will accidentally brush too hard and pop a volume lash off the natural lash, but I also built those lashes to be brushed that way. And so I would also like to teach my client how to maybe brush them the way that I built them to be brushed. So when your client is leaving, hand them their mascara wand, hand them a mirror, and show them exactly how they should be brushed. And I always teach them mascara wand here, finger here, without lotion of course, brush, and release. This finger is for support, so we're not brushing too hard. And the spoolie, brushing from the back, will straighten out the lashes should they become tangled, or maybe they've just showered, and this will give a much cleaner brushing. This also works for classic lashes. Sometimes you're trying to put the extension on the side of the eyelash or on top, and seriously, it just won't work. Try this next time. Take your extension, scoop the base up underneath the base of the natural eyelash, and hold it there. You'll be surprised at how nice and clean the adhesion is and how seamless it is. I don't take my classic lash, dip it all the way in my adhesive, drag it out, then drag all that adhesive on the natural lash and then place it on top. I don't do that. 2 to 4 millimeters of adhesion is really all that you need, and the adhesive now is so strong that it would take a lot for that client to just pop everything off. Plus, it gives a much fluffier look, and your clients won't feel that they have such a heavy eyelash because there's really not that much adhesive there anymore, and it's so much softer. Try that out next time. Now, I can give you tips and tricks all day on lashes. They're my passion. I love doing eyelash extensions, and I love the result that it gives the face and the confidence that the person receiving them now receives that confidence. I love, love, love to observe people. I always have. And I think that is one of the things that makes me a unique teacher. I'm not just seeing and handing you tools and saying, now put this lash on this lash, now do this, now do that. I'm observing you as a student to see, are there roadblocks in your mind? Are you positive in thinking, maybe I can do this? Are you telling yourself you can't? So not only do I see this in my students, but I see it in forums. I see it on Instagram. I observe the way that people connect with each other and also their general attitude toward the industry. And we all have seen it. We've seen the one end where if you asked someone anything, they would answer and tell you. And then we've seen the other spectrum where they hold their secrets so tight that eventually people lose interest in the tight secrets because what's the point? You weren't contributing. I'm here to give this industry a shot in the arm of confidence and perspective. I want to remind us that number one, the only thing that we really need to worry about is ourselves. And the only person that we really need to be better than is the person we were yesterday. Let's take the movie Les Mis. Let's say the first version I cast Jim Carrey. And then I decide, well, let me cast Les Mis again, only this time I want the main character to be Sean Connery. Do you think the movie would be different, even though the script was exactly the same? Yeah, big time. I want to show you that lashes have their uniqueness because you're the person applying them. No one will have the same eyelash extensions, not ever. Because you're the one signing the autograph. You're the one making that canvas come alive. That lash set is yours and uniquely yours only. So don't be worried if someone doesn't prefer your brand of art, or if they choose a different lash artist, that's okay. And the reason for that is we have so many people in the world. In fact, 7.2 billion people. That's a lot of eyeballs. That's a lot of lashes. So just know that there are enough people in the world to keep everyone really busy. And the only thing that keeps them coming is you. They can find lashes anywhere, but can they find your unique flair? Now, there are a lot of hot items coming up in the lash world. We have volume lashes, we have classic lashes, different lengths, L curls, L plus, we have lower lashes, we have all these different new, innovative, cool things. Our company just came out with the lash palette. I'm super excited about all these cool toys. But don't forget when you're developing your product to also develop yourself, because really you are the hot commodity. I want to remind you that you are absolutely magnificent, that you are absolutely bringing things to this world that weren't there before you came. You're the one making people feel special. You're the one making them feel beautiful. And I want you to watch this ripple effect. If someone feels beautiful, they will pay it forward. They will act accordingly. Marie Forleo said, greatness doesn't come from what you do, but from who you are. I love that. And I want to remind each and every one of you that this individuality that we have in the lash world is exciting. There's room for everyone at the top. Now let's land this plane. I just want to recap. 1, take a look at the gel pads. Try them out. See if you like them. Rewatch the video 800 times. Message me on Instagram, My Brand Lashes. It's all one word. If you're interested in training, we have lashaffair.com. Remember to watch your mental attitude. Remember to watch your mindset. Remember, you're the only person that runs your business. So, make it unique. Make it your own. Don't worry what other people are doing. They're doing their thing too. The thing is we will never run out of clients. We will never run out of students. This world is ever flourishing. Keep contributing to it. Be something that makes this world worth living in. Remember, the only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Now, go try those tricks out. Let me know what you think. I'm excited to hear back from you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Hilary, for letting us know all about your brand. I found that webinar extremely interesting. And now we're going to hear from Loretta from Flawless Lashes.
Hello everyone, I'm Loretta. I'm the founder of Flawless Lashes Academy, which is based in London. It is a huge honor to be part of this webinar. I wanted to thank you, Chrissanthie, for inviting me. I hope you all will enjoy this evening and will find this webinar helpful. After years of enjoying great success in lash industry, my passion for styling lashes has grown from strength to strength. I built my academy, which has now franchises in Lithuania, Ireland, 2 in UK, and 1 more coming to Scandinavia, which will be early next year. Our courses in UK we're running weekly, and they are individual courses. Also, they are accredited with Association of Beauty Therapists, so all our courses from both foundation, from the beginner to advanced level and volume lashes are all accredited and insured by Associated Beauty Therapists. We also run our courses internationally. We had the pleasure to meet such a lovely, talented lash artist from all over the world. They came from Japan, Hawaii. So we held our courses in the United States, Germany, Ireland, and Lithuania. Next year, early next year, we come into Norway, Oslo and Bergen. I think there are just a couple of spaces left, so if you would like to join us, you're always welcome. Also, we're planning to visit in March the United States again, and Australia early April. Here you can see a few pictures from our courses, international courses. In UK we had the pleasure as well to meet lovely guests from all over the world, like Sweden, Australia, Norway, almost all, each country from Europe. Here is our website. You can always visit if you would like to join our classes in UK or internationally. Please visit www.eueyelashinstitute.com. We have our brand products, Flawless Lashes products. Here is the website. You can always visit, and I hope you will find something. The best selling product is eyelash adhesive. jet set. Also at the moment we have few distributors in Lithuania, Ireland, Germany, Norway, and in the United States. So you actually can save some money because you don't need to ship from the UK. Always welcome to visit our distributors. Flawless Lashes brand is sourced from major manufacturers. We're not restricting to any particular brand or manufacturer, as our aim is to supply the highest quality products and most luxurious lashes. As you probably know, that manufacturers constantly upgrade and develop better products, so we test and review them before offer to our customers. Today I will be talking a little bit about the volume lashes, which is like, just taking over the world, and I'm sure most of you familiar to this technique. But I hope you will find this helpful because I will be sharing few tips and tricks on how to do better and easier volume lashes. In this picture you can see how fans can look, and also how bit of adhesive has to stay on multiple extensions. It would be great if you could achieve the even space between each multiple extension, so this way you can create lovely uniformed look. Also, it's very important, as you can see, the bit of adhesive sits right at the base. This can be achieved if you're scooping the glue, like little scoop or flick, never dip into the adhesive. Here is the proof of weight, which can be different for different brand. So you have to really check how they look. Do they look very thick or do they look thinner? Of course, if you have medical scales, that's perfect. You can weigh them, yeah? Why it is very important to know the weight of multiple extensions. This way you're not damaging natural lashes and you're not overloading natural lash. At the moment, Flawless Lashes Academy offers 6 different volume techniques. You probably will ask why so many techniques. It's simple, because we all different and we do things differently. So one technique not always suits everyone's needs, isn't it? Actually, I'm just developing the 7th technique, which will be offered early next year as the 7th volume technique. There is 3 main volume lash techniques, which you probably know, that you can fan multiple lashes on the strip using your fingertips, or you can use 2 tweezers to create perfect fan. But there is lots of different ways how to fan lashes on a strip. So it's not necessary the one way. You always can find different, better way which works for you. In this photo, I'm just showing how you can create fan if you're just slightly peeling the lashes on the side, and actually if you peel them correctly, which of course we're showing that on our courses, they open nicely and you actually don't need to do anything. You just grab the lashes and you have perfect fan. Almost for each volume technique, except if you're using finger rolling technique, it is very important the way you hold the tweezers. In this picture, we're showing incorrect way. If you hold vertical your tweezer, and you're trying to fan multiple extensions, usually you will end up losing some of the lashes, or when you peel them from the strip, multiple extension bases can crisscross, which is wrong, and then you can't apply on a natural lash. So try not to hold your tweezers vertical. Try to angle it the same angle as extensions. Okay, if you picked up correct volume fan from the strip, you need to correctly pick up the glue. As I mentioned before, try not to dip in the glue. Try to scoop the glue. So the tiny bead sits at the base and it doesn't travel up and is not closing your fan, which is very, very important. And the hardest part, which I noticed lots of lash technicians, especially when they're learning for the beginning, the volume lashes, they're struggling to apply on a natural lash. Why? Maybe because you never used to use curved tweezer, or maybe you don't have enough space. So make sure you isolate your natural lashes very, very wide, so you have a lot of space to come with the curved tweezer. Also, it is very important the way you apply. Also, it's all about the angles, which we teach as well. How is the best way to get into the natural lash, on the natural lash. Also, there are a few ways to apply: from underneath, sideways, or on top. On top is the hardest part because it's very hard to make the bases, to wrap the natural lash. Because if your multiple extensions not wrapping natural lash, you can get nice thin base, and also because you're using such a tiny amount of adhesive, if you just place it on top and base is not wrapping the natural lash, your fan will fall out very quickly. So we really need to achieve this, that they wrapping natural lash, hugging. So actually you can see that movement is microscopic movement, but it is possible to see. So make sure you're not creating clusters, you're creating nice V-shaped fans. That's it for tonight. That's my few tips. Of course, we have loads more tips and tricks. You're all welcome to visit us one day in UK, or we might meet somewhere, in around the world, in Europe or United States. Thank you for having me in this webinar, and I hope you will have amazing evening. Lots of lash love, Loretta.
Thank you, Loretta, for sharing that information with us and telling us all about flawless lashes. Thank you to all our speakers, and we are looking to hold these webinars on a regular basis. The next one will be in a few months, and will also include some speakers that we weren't able to fit into this webinar, so we look forward to seeing you then. Any questions, if you want to email me at info@lashinc.eu. So that's info@lashinc.eu. Thank you.